The Dallas Cowboys' search for a new defensive coordinator is entering a crucial phase as other NFL positions are filled. The market is tightening, decisions are being made at an accelerated pace, and each signing by another franchise has a direct impact on Dallas. The league landscape changes daily, and it feels like time is no longer on their side. What was once a broad process is now transforming into a strategic race, where mistakes could be costly in the 2025 NFL season. Before delving deeper into this scenario, a direct and necessary request is in order. If you closely follow the Dallas Cowboys' behind-the-scenes activities, are interested in journalistic analysis, and want to continue receiving consistent information about the NFL coaching market, now is the time to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment with your opinion. This interaction is fundamental to keeping the debate alive and expanding coverage of the team's inner workings. In this context, a symbolic episode helps illustrate the contrast between frustration and professionalism. Trevon Diggs was once again released by the Green Bay Packers, a move that drew attention for its timing and implicit message. The cut happened even before a new defensive coordinator was appointed, clearly indicating how the franchise assessed his physical condition and performance. Had there been a genuine interest in retaining his rights, the Packers could have waited. The premature decision speaks for itself and reinforces the interpretation that the gamble was over. The contrast becomes even more evident when looking inside Dallas. While a former player continues to face instability, a Cowboys rookie is establishing himself as an example of professionalism. Tyler Booker, a guard selected in the first round, was named to the Pro Football Writers Association's All-Rookie team in 2000. The recognition didn't come by chance. In his first season, Booker faced some of the league's best defensive tackles, players with Pro Bowl and All-Pro histories, and managed to remain competitive throughout the year. It was a season of affirmation, reinforcing the Dallas Cowboys' recent history of making good offensive line picks. Despite this positive highlight, the focus quickly returns to the franchise's main urgency. The coaching staff, more specifically the defense, is the center of attention. The search for a defensive coordinator has taken on new dimensions after a series of signings scattered throughout the league. 4 of the available head coach positions have been filled, and each name announced has generated a domino effect. The Giants, Falcons, Dolphins, and Titans have made moves that not only solved their own problems, but also opened new defensive gaps in other teams. Jeff Hafley's departure from Green Bay, after solid seasons leading the defense, weakens a direct rival and creates a new dynamic in the market. Meanwhile, the hiring of Robert Saleh as head coach of the Tennessee Titans opens the door for profound changes in San Francisco. In parallel, the position in Buffalo also emerges as a new opportunity, further intensifying the competition for the top available names. The NFL coaching market is heating up, and the Cowboys need to act precisely to avoid losing their targets. In this competitive landscape, some names have begun to gain traction. Dante Jones, the Vikings' defensive passing coordinator, has been mentioned more frequently. Christian Parker, responsible for the Eagles' defensive passing game, also appears as one of the most sought-after professionals at the moment. Both are generating interest and are seen as natural fits for what Dallas is looking to rebuild in the Cowboys' defense. While these names are gaining traction, another one is drawing attention precisely because of its silence. Jim Leonhard, considered by many to be one of the most qualified candidates available, has seen his name suddenly go cold. There were occasional mentions involving the Giants and Packers, but these speculations quickly disappeared. A possible explanation lies in the Denver Broncos playoff campaign, which limits interviews until the team's participation ends. Even so, before that period, only the Cowboys and Jets had held concrete talks with Leonhard, which makes the silence even more intriguing. This scenario of uncertainty sets the stage for a point of increasing tension, involving a specific name and worrying a large part of the fan base. Jonathan Gannon's lengthy interview with the Dallas Cowboys, revealed by journalistic investigations, has raised a red flag. The fact that his name isn't circulating strongly in other league selection processes, coupled with the ongoing talks in Dallas, increases the sense of risk and apprehension. Jonathan Gannon's continued tenure with the Dallas Cowboys has become the most sensitive point of the entire Cowboys offseason. The coach's profile raises legitimate questions when compared to the internal environment being created. Gannon is seen as a quiet, analytical, extremely calculating, and reserved professional, characteristics that contrast with the energy and temperament that Brian Schottenheimer seeks to establish in the team's daily routine. This difference in style is not a minor detail. In a league where communication and internal alignment define results, human fit becomes as crucial as the tactical scheme. It is precisely at this point that names like Jim Leonhard and Christian Parker gain conceptual strength. Both present bits of profile that aligns better with the current Dallas Cowboys approach, both in their relationship with players and in building a defensive identity. The perception is that these coaches would integrate more naturally into the environment, favoring a more fluid transition within the Cowboys' defense. Even so, the fact that Leonard has disappeared from the news, despite being one of Jim Leonard, despite his silence, still holds prestige. Gannon, on the other hand, emerges as a name that neither excites nor generates consensus. The situation is exacerbated by the low level of external interest in Gannon. So far, his interviews have focused on a few franchises, reinforcing the feeling that Dallas may be going against the market trend. In a period marked by intense behind-the-scenes NFL activity, this lack of competition is noteworthy and fuels distrust. The fear is that the final choice will not be the result of technical alignment, but of internal influence, something that historically generates friction when associated with Jerry Jones's name. Within this context, the Cowboys' offseason becomes a test of institutional understanding. The math at the moment is simple and unforgiving. There's a wide margin for success with multiple well-evaluated options available. At the same time, there's a real possibility of widespread frustration if the decision leans towards the less accepted path. The impact wouldn't just be tactical, but emotional, affecting the relationship between the franchise and the fans right at the start of preparations for the 2025 NFL season. Meanwhile, the market continues to move. New positions open up, interviews progress, and room for maneuver shrinks. The Dallas Cowboys need to act with clarity, awareness, and sensitivity. The Cowboys' defense is entering a crucial moment of redefinition, and the name chosen now will be responsible for shaping the team's performance in the immediate future. The choice of defensive coordinator is not just a hiring, it's a statement of direction, philosophy, and understanding of the franchise's current situation. The fans are closely watching every step, every rumor, and every update from behind the scenes in the NFL. There's anticipation but also caution. The scenario is far from defined, but one thing is certain. The decision that comes out of this meeting will have direct consequences on the team's identity, on-field performance, and the trust placed in them by the fan base. The Cowboys' offseason is progressing, the clock is ticking, and the Dallas Cowboys are approaching one of the most important moments of their recent preparation.